Hey, today's good person to know is Lara Morgan. She's founder of Company Shortcuts. Lara started her business Pacific Direct, age 23, selling toiletries and amenities to the hotel industry. 17 years later, with a 99% stake in the business, she sold it for £20.2 million. Lara just wanted a job, and it was when she had made £4.5 million in sales that she actually wrote her first business plan, although she says she was most effective having written a business plan and urges everyone to have a business plan, even if it's only 2 pages long. She says that you need to be ambitious and focused, and says there's nothing wrong with trying and failing so long as you learn from those lessons and make new discoveries. She says that leadership style is so important and that you should really lead by example. Now, Lara was very committed towards her businesses, as you will hear in this video. She worked non-stop and she made many sacrifices along the way. She knew absolutely everything there was to know about her business. She may not have read a newspaper for 17 years, but she read every single trade magazine there was so that she could stay ahead of her competitors, but also deliver exactly what her customers wanted. Lara says it's absolutely vital you have a good sales pitch and have strong values that everyone works towards. She says that your number one priority should be profit and cash flow. Now, I actually think Lara has an amazing work ethic. She is very focused, as you can tell in this video, just on her own personality, the way she was delivering this message. If you want to be successful, you need to know exactly where you want to go, and then you need to make sure that happens. Now, I hope you enjoy this video. Lara has written a book called More Balls Than Most, which I think she probably does have, because how did she achieve what she needed to achieve without a business plan, without any experience, without any knowledge in the industry? How did she do it? It was her personality and her perseverance that guided her. So I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching.
I am basically a soap salesperson. I started a business when I was 23. I needed a job. It was the last recession. I think a recession is a great time to start a business. It's even better if you start it when you're 23 because you know absolutely nothing. For the next 17 years I built a business and I sold it when I still owned 99% of it 17 years later for £20.2 million, and I banked a lot of cash. Pacific started as more of a I need a job and I need to eat rather than a business as a whole. So any of you that have a business plan, you are 9 years ahead of me. I was doing 4.5 million sales by the time I managed to think that maybe a plan would be quite a good idea. Making 664,000 profit turned into 8 years later, so less time later, 3.3 million EBITDA. It's quite useful to have a plan, I found. So if you don't have a plan, for goodness sakes, get 2 pages and write a plan. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I turned this unplanned, enthusiastic sales company into a hotel amenities business where I sold soap in 110 countries. We had 9 offices. That seemed like a good idea at the time. I got carried away. I had a factory in China, one in the Czech Republic. That sounds extremely complicated. It's not. But it all depends on one person, and that's the scale of your ambitions and your focus. Is he focused on the stuff he needed to know, and he kept testing, and I absolutely love that as a model. What did he do when he was testing? He made thousands of mistakes in testing, and every time he tested and made a mistake, he discovered that that wasn't going to work, and he got himself up again and he tried something else. So it's discovery. There is absolutely nothing wrong with trying to be the expert and failing along the way. Most importantly, accelerate through failure. Ultimately, your ambition and yourself is where you have to start in leadership. I was appalling for 9 years. I can't even describe how terrible I was. I used to shout across the office. I used to have no respect for my people's times. I used to dictate that if I wanted a meeting, I took no consideration of others, and I was pretty bombastic and very poor. As we grew and the team started to build, I started to realize that my behavior was the central of everything. So just as one example, for 17 years, I turned right on an airplane. Right's economy, left is the mod. Because when I traveled in economy, I was setting an example on budget. And when I then had 27 international salespeople, I never had a conversation about the need to travel in business class because they knew where I sat. What level of example do you set? In a global environment, I used to get up, and this is really for the beginning businesses to shock you into reality, I suppose. I used to get up and drive my car into London at about 4:15 in the morning and deliver goods to the Dorchester so that I got there before the fish people, because then I could deliver my sewing kits and do some other catalogue drop-offs before I had appointments starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. By the way, on the way to London, I picked up the sewing kits at my warehouse in Dunstable, drove to London to beat the traffic, did a number of appointments, and I used to try and escape London by about 2:45 so I could get back to the office, do calls, process orders, follow-up meetings, and I would play squash at about 7:30 at night for an hour, have dinner with my grandmother, and then go back to work. I did that for many years. I was determined to grow a fast-growth company. I knew that I was no brighter than the rest, but what I knew is if all things are equal and I can work smarter and faster and harder than the rest, then hopefully I win. Do you have a strategy? Do you actually know who your core customer is, how old they are, what they do with their lives, what car they drive, what demographic they are, and where you can find them in their masses? The point is that you need to know what kind of salesperson you are, and then you need to gather the team around you, and you need to have a unique selling proposition. How good is your pitch? I cannot tell you the value of having a good pitch, succinctly telling somebody not who you are and what you do, but how you can add value to their company. That is a pitch. I, as a CEO, want to know how you can add value to my business. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you do, until you can add value to me and my company. How many of you do that religiously, rigorously, and automatically at every point? So how interesting is your pitch, and how persistent are you at getting the right person or people into your company? So what steps to success are you going to take? Who is there that could transform your business? Which person do you need to meet? And what creative thing could you do? What interesting thing do you do to find the person you need to sell to have a meeting that will change your lives? How ambitious are you? But ultimately, there is one word that should become your passion, and that is the word profit. You rudimentarily know the trend in your business and how it's going to affect your cash. Finance is absolutely critical. Plus, think about asking your customer how you can sell more. How many of you have gone to a customer with no other intention other than saying to them, how can I take your pain away? How can I solve a problem within the remit of my expertise and problems that you're having? Is there something I can do to help you accelerate your growth, to help you make more money, to help give you greater value? That is one of the most powerful tips I can give you.